It's the most wonderful time of the year. No, it is. Like, Christmas is fine, we all have fun, but as we stare February in the face, it gives me undying pleasure to say it is officially award season, baby. We've got dresses, we've got speeches, we've got carpets, we've got injustices, we've got films we can all pretend we've heard of and nod sagely when they win. I am alive. Much has already been said about this year's nominations, and I haven't seen them all yet, partly because half of them haven't been released in the UK yet, and also partly because my local cinema doesn't have a great lineup of documentary shorts. Because of that, I'm going to wait until Oscars Day to give my thoughts on the big hitters, but I still wanted to get involved and ram my opinions down your throat, so here are my Oscar Wildcards. These are films that I think should have been nominated in various categories, but didn't get a look in. Okay, let's start big, shall we, with Best Picture. And the nominees are predictable. They are Arrival, Fences, Hacksaw Ridge, Hell or High Water, Hidden Figures, La La Land, Lion, Manchester by the Sea, and Moonlight. No surprises there, all highly acclaimed films. Personally, I would have liked to nod the cap to Jackie, which I thought was a really unique film that's actually impressed me more the more I think about it. It's a peculiar film in that at times it's disjointed and it can feel alienating, and I heard someone say, I'm paraphrasing, but they said it was like a broken kaleidoscope, which is completely its intention and the best description I can possibly think of. It's made up of these fractured elements. The cinematography is searching and vulnerable. The performance, though, is guarded and like hidden behind a mask. The score is the most interesting score for a political biopic I've ever heard. It's almost sci-fi. All of the elements come together to make this uneasy yet powerful personal drama, and I think if a Best Picture is the sum of its parts, then Jackie definitely deserved at least a nomination. Best Actor is Casey Affleck, Andrew Garfield, Ryan Gosling, Denzel Washington, and Viggo Mortensen, and I'm so chuffed to see Viggo on that list. I saw Captain Fantastic a few months back, and I really liked it. I thought it kind of hinged on his tender, emotional, thoughtful performance. Get ready, I know I'm going to make a bunch of you roll your eyes here though. As much as Gozza deserves all the plaudits in the world for his wonderful performance in La La Land, I think he deserves equal credit for his turn in The Nice Guys. Comedy is tremendously difficult and it's so rarely recognised at the Oscars, which is a great shame. I think his turn as Holland March in Shane Black's neo-noir crime caper, I rehearsed that, say that when you're drunk, I think it just shows quite how good he is. Best Actress, Isabelle Huppert, Ruth Negga, Emma Stone, Natalie Portman, and Meryl Streep? Didn't I? As much as I love Meryl, and I do, it wouldn't be the Oscars without her, I'm surprised to see her on this list. I haven't actually seen Florence Foster Jenkins, but by all accounts, it's quite a wonderful film, and it's always tricky as a good singer to play a bad singer. It's a really difficult... Oh, come on, it's Meryl. I remember about 3 months ago, the discussion was that this was all but in the bag for Amy Adams, and actually the only person who might stop her getting the award was, well, herself. At this point, it's a bit of a cliche, but I'm really surprised neither of her excellent performances in Arrival or Nocturnal Animals have been nominated this year. For me, the latter edges it. I've always had complicated feelings about our Amy. I don't know what it is. I think sometimes I feel like I can see her process. I can see her acting. I know that sounds weird. There's no denying, though, she is always brilliant, and this year was no exception. Her inhibited, steely turn in Nocturnal Animals was wonderful. That said, she did spend most of the film reading, and it's kind of difficult to give an Oscar. Although they gave it to Judi Dench and she was on screen for 6 minutes, so who knows. I'm gonna do one more, Best Adapted Screenplay. I really like this category because I like writing stories and I've always been fascinated by the process of adapting things for screen. More on that later, much more, much later, but this is the one that I put my smug hat on for. Nominees are Arrival, Fences, Hidden Figures, Lion, and Moonlight. I thought Arrival was a really wonderful film, and actually they've taken a very clunky, dense science fiction / linguistics short story and turned it into an accessible, relatable film. So I think that's my pick for this one. But for a wildcard, I think I'd go with Deadpool, which is not a conventional Oscars screenplay, and I didn't absolutely love it. I thought at times its mega meta approach was a little bit too heavy-handed, but I'm reliably informed that it's remarkably faithful to the source material. When I say reliably informed, I mean I was shouted down every time I said they could have reined it in a bit. Comic fans are some of the most intensely passionate in the world, and if you've won them over, then I think you've done a pretty good job of adapting a screenplay. Alright, we've got time for one more. We'll do Best Foreign Language Film. These are all... Oh, these are really... What a category, am I right? I mean, that one... Just... I've definitely seen them. I think they've nailed that. I couldn't possibly add... Do you need a drink? I need a... I'll go and get a drink.